Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to demystify one of the most popular ways to start a business in India. We're breaking down exactly what it takes, step by step, to set up your very own private limited company. So you've got that killer idea, right? That thing you just can't stop thinking about. You're ready to build it, maybe even get in front of some serious investors. But what's that first, absolutely crucial step to make it a real, legal, and investable business? Well, that's exactly what we're about to figure out together. Okay, so here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with why you'd even want this structure. Then we'll look at the other options out there. We'll get into the nitty-gritty of how to register it, talk about the costs, and finally, what you need to do after you're all set up. Right, first things first. Before we get lost in paperwork and fees, let's talk about the why. What are the powerful advantages that make a private limited company the go-to choice for so many ambitious founders? Now, this is where it gets really interesting. Limited liability? Huge. We'll get into that in a second. Brand protection means your awesome company name is yours and yours alone. But honestly, the real game changer here is fundraising. If you've ever watched Shark Tank, you'll notice pretty much every startup pitching is a private limited company. And there's a good reason for that. For investors, it's just cleaner, safer, and way easier to put their money into a business with this structure. Plus, it lets you offer stock options to attract the best talent, and it's the structure everyone prefers if you're thinking big, like global big. Let's really zero in on this limited liability thing, because it's a big deal. Think of it like a legal firewall between your personal life and your business life. If the company, for whatever reason, gets into financial trouble, your personal car, your house, your savings, they're all safe. For an entrepreneur, that's not just a legal technicality, that's peace of mind. It's what gives you the freedom to take calculated risks and build something incredible. Okay, so a private limited company sounds pretty compelling, I get it. But it's not the only game in town. Let's see how it actually stacks up against some of the other, simpler options you might be thinking about. And this table just lays it all out crystal clear. A proprietorship? Super simple, yeah, but your liability is unlimited. That's a massive personal risk. An LLP gives you that limited liability, but look at the fundraising potential. It's low. The private limited company, though, under the Solid Companies Act of 2013, is just built for growth. It's the clear winner if your vision is to scale up, bring in investors, and build something that lasts. All right, let's say you're sold. You're thinking, this is it, this is the path for me. So, now what? Let's get into the practical side of things and break down exactly how you get it done. First up, you've got to get your ducks in a row. That means gathering some documents. For every Indian director, you'll need the basics like a PAN card and an Aadhaar card. Then for your company's official address, you need proof like a rental agreement or a recent utility bill. And if you're renting the space, you'll also need what's called a no objection certificate or NOC, which is really just a simple letter from the owner saying they're cool with you using their place as your registered office. The good news is the whole process is pretty much online now, and it's been boiled down to these 5 main steps. You start by getting a digital signature certificate. Think of it as your official digital autograph. Then you get a director identification number. Step 3 is the fun part. You get to reserve your unique company name. After that, you fill in all the details of your company. And the last step is filing your foundational documents, the memorandum and articles of association, which are basically the rule book for your company with the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Now, here is a really, really important point. While you can do a lot of this yourself, the final submission to the government has to be digitally signed by a practicing professional, like a chartered accountant or a company secretary. They're the ones who verify everything and put their stamp of approval on it, so you can't skip this step. Okay, this all sounds doable, but let's talk about the bottom line. Let's talk money. What's this actually going to cost you to get set up and, just as importantly, to keep running? On average, you're probably looking at a one-time setup cost somewhere in this ballpark. This bundle of cash covers your government filing fees, any state-specific stamp duty, and of course the fees for the professional who's helping you get it all done right. And this is the part that sometimes catches people by surprise. Once you're incorporated, you have legal responsibilities every single year. And here's the kicker, even if your company makes zero money, you still have to do your filings. So you need to budget for this, recurring annual cost, which can range from 6 to 15,000 rupees.
So, congratulations, you did it. Your company is officially registered, you have the certificate in hand, but the work isn't over. In fact, in many ways, it's just beginning. Now you start the journey of actually running a compliant company.
Your very first job is to appoint an auditor, and you've got to do that within 30 days. After that, you've got a yearly checklist.
You need to hold board meetings and file a bunch of forms with the government, like your financial statements and an annual report on your company's activities. You also have to file a separate income tax return for the company and make sure every director does their yearly KYC. It might seem like a lot, but hey, this is the price of credibility and having a proper structure. So let's just zoom out and bring it all together. What's the final verdict? Well, on one side, you get massive advantages. That limited liability safety net, instant credibility, and most importantly, the key to unlocking external funding. But on the flip side, you're signing up for more compliance work, higher setup costs, and a more complicated process if you ever want to close up shop. It's a classic trade-off. You're swapping simplicity for scalability. So, in the end, the choice really comes down to your ambition. What's your vision? Are you building a small lifestyle business for yourself? Or are you trying to build an empire that can attract investors, grow, and maybe even take on the world? Answering that question will tell you everything you need to know about whether a private limited company is the right foundation for your dream.